Hi everyone, Christina here. I hope you guys are all having a productive week. It's almost Friday, so just hang in there. I just wanted to make a quick video on here because if you guys have been following me on our Instagram page, you probably saw that we've been using this handheld sewing machine. I had a couple of people ask me about it, and they wanted to know what my thoughts were on it and if they should purchase it or whatnot. So I figure, why not just make a video and provide you guys my feedback? So let's get into it. The name of the machine is called Singer Stitch Sew Quick, and the box looks like this. And I purchased mine from Joann's. It was for $24.99, but I had a coupon for 40% off, so better believe I used it. It ended up coming out to like 16 bucks, so that was a deal. What's included in the kit? There's 3 threaded bobbins. I'll show you guys what this looks like. So that's what the bobbin looks like. There's 4 of them, and there's blue, red, white, and black. There's 3 machine needles. Looks like this. And technically there's 4 because this is my first time doing this. There's 4 because there's already 1 attached to the machine. And then there's 1 needle threader that I've never used before, and I don't really know what to do with it, but I could Google that later. And then there's 1 thread spindle, which is this thing right here. And basically there's 2 of these. There's actually a small one and a big one. And basically you put the thread in this and then attach this part to the machine, which I'll show you guys in a moment. If you guys are going to purchase it, just be sure to pick up 4 AA batteries as well, because they're not included in the box, but you do need them for this machine to function. Okay, so I never knew mini sewing machines existed. What happened was our big heavy duty machine ended up crashing on us, and it's no longer working. RIP machine. So I Googled sewing machines because the old one we had for years, and I wanted to know like what's new, what's trending, what's out there right now. So I Googled it, and they are pretty pricey. So I needed something quick. I didn't have the time to go into details about machines and stuff. So luckily they had this one at our Joann's store, and I went ahead and picked it up. I do want to mention we use a sewing machine for our backdrops. We're basically making pockets in our panels, so it's a straight line. Most of the fabric is sheer-like, so I'm not sure how it'll hold on thicker material, like on denim or leather, but I probably wouldn't recommend it. The machine is mainly designed for small projects, almost like on the go, like on your wedding day if your dress rips or something. Like, it's a lifesaver. So let me actually just show you guys some of the features on the machine. I won't be going into too much detail about how to sew something. Maybe I can do that in another video, but this is solely on my recommendation on things to think about if you are thinking of buying it, or if you have it and you just might be struggling with it. So here it is, this little guy here. Like I said, you'll need the 4 AA batteries, which you'll be inserting here. And then you'll have the control button, the power button up here. This thing I like because you're basically in control, and I like being in control. So what you basically do, and it's loud, I'll show you guys how loud it is too, but you could tap it just a little bit and it'll go on, or you could just like let it go all the way and just let it do what it does. So here's how it sounds. So that's pretty loud. So if you guys have other people in the house, like, be courteous. And then we have this little spin wheel here, which basically controls the needle going up and down. We have the bobbin. One thing that you guys should keep in mind when you guys first purchase this and unbox, the bobbin will already be here. Make sure you guys leave it or remember how the thread is inserted. It's actually, so if you guys could see right there, or this is not right, but it goes up this way. I don't know if you guys can see that, but make sure it's not going over here, because if you guys try sewing that way, the thread will constantly like keep breaking and it won't work. So make sure you guys keep in mind, like remember how that is, because when you guys run out of thread, you'll have to like obviously, you know, put it back in there. And then before you could even begin your project, you'll have to put the thread in 3 different holes. There's a hole right here. There's a hole underneath here. And then obviously the needle as well. Yeah, so that's that. And then the next step, which I find the most challenging part, where I think you'll almost need like 2 people to do this part, is inserting the fabric. I say it's challenging because if you put too much weight on this part right here, like this will go down and then you can't insert your fabric. So it's hard. So if you have someone there to help you, that's great. But if you're by yourself, one thing I've kind of figured out, the best way to do it would be to kind of like place your hand here. Don't put pressure on this, but just like grip the front part right here and then put your finger there. And then you could just insert your little piece of fabric like that and then drop it. And there you have it. And then you just start sewing. So that's that. And these are just things like I figured out, you know, by just working with it, and they help me. But things that you should know before you're purchasing this. This only uses 1 thread only, and it's fed off a single bobbin. So there is no stitch it can do except a chain stitch. Excuse me. Again, this is just for, you know, fine, like this is fine for like quick repairs if you're on the go and you just need something to hold until you get home to fix it for real. And then there is no back stitch for the fix. So meaning like you'll need to pull, here, let me show you guys. So when you guys begin, whatever project it is that you're beginning, make sure that you guys have extra thread in the beginning and extra thread at the end, because you'll need to tie this in order for the seam to hold. If not, it will come apart and you'll be disappointed and sad because, you know, I did that and it sucked. So make sure you guys pull that thread, because, you know, if not, it'll come apart. Another thing I found helpful also is while the machine is doing what it does, like press on the threads. Like I just found it to work for me. It makes it tighter. So that's another thing you guys can do. And also use the tension screw up here on top here. If the machine is skipping stitches, that means it's too loose. If the thread is breaking, that means it's too tight. And this is where you would adjust. If you're having issues like that, that's where you would adjust it. And also, one thing I learned too is if you are rushing the machine and like pulling the material from the left, because it only goes left to right. It doesn't go right to left. If you're pulling it, you know, from the left or scooting the machine down to the fabric too fast, it will skip stitches. So the machine knows what it's doing. You guys just let it do its job. All you need to do is make sure that the presser foot is lined up, and that way it'll feed straight. All in all, I think it's fine for what it does. It's important to note that it's not a fully functional sewing machine. So if you're, you know, like if you're on your way to a job interview and your skirt just happens to rip, like this will save your life. And again, this is not really good for sewing seams that you want to be permanent, because it just won't work. But there's an upside to that, because like unlike a regular machine, like the stitches are easily removable if you mess up. You don't, or if you need to take up the seam or whatnot, you don't need a seam ripper or a thread pick. None of that is required. It's just a little tricky, but once you get to know the parts, like it'll be easier. So yeah, again, This isn't for big projects. We are actually just using it temporarily until I do a little more research on a bigger machine. So if you want to know what I recommend it, yes, if you have the patience and time to play with it, because it does take some time to get used to, just like anything else in life though. But I would recommend it to beginners, definitely. I think it's a great way to kind of get your, foot in the door as far as, sewing things and stuff. So yeah, that kind of wraps up what I had to say about everything. If you guys have any questions, or also if you guys have any recommendations on any bigger machines, I would love to know. So leave your comments below or on the side, where everything is. Thanks for watching, and hope you guys have a great day.